In May of 2025, a long sought after piece of cryptid lost media was found hidden in plain sight. It was the footage of an unknown species of animal nicknamed Marvin. Turns out this whole time, the footage had been aired on a Chilean TV show. Similar to that story, my associate Zachary Mann has uncovered another piece of lost Bigfoot evidence that was hiding right before our very eyes. That evidence is the 1978 Marian Schubert photo, which was first reported in the Bigfoot book, Big Footage. According to the book, it had been on display at cryptozoologist John Eric Beckjord's museum. The author of Big Footage, Mike Quast, first heard about the photo in a letter from Bigfoot hunter John Green. He stated, "Regarding Marian Schubert, my failing memory tells me that this was the woman that Beckjord spent a great deal of time with quite a few years ago, regarding repeated incidents at a campground in, I think, California." It seems to me that there is a lot more reported than I was prepared to accept. I suppose, though, that the picture was probably burned up when he lost most of his other stuff. Since Beckjord's house had been destroyed in a California wildfire, Quast and Green thought it was likely the photograph had been destroyed there. But Zachary Mann did some more digging. He was able to find newspaper reports mentioning Marian Schubert. He was surprised to find that there were a lot of articles mentioning her for a lost photo. One newspaper even included a sketch of the picture. But it wasn't until he found a copy of the Contra Costa Times that he finally found the photo itself. To both his and my shock, it ended up being a photograph known online as the Old Yellow Top photo. Before Zachary uncovered the true origin, this one had a bit of a strange online backstory. Information about it was pretty conflicting at times. Sometimes the date of the photograph was even given as 1920 for some reason. It was nicknamed the Old Yellow Top photo due to the yellowish coloring of the alleged Bigfoot. The Old Yellow Top name was first used for a Bigfoot sighting in Ontario, not California where the photo was taken. The strangest discrepancies come from John Eric Beckjord himself. On his old website, he discusses the photograph in detail. He had been contacted by a radio DJ named Dr. Don, who put him into contact with a Bigfoot eyewitness who had a photo of the cryptid. He talked with the woman who told him that she hadn't even seen Bigfoot until looking at the photos later. The two of them later went out to the area to look for more evidence. They found footprints and heard screaming, but didn't see Bigfoot. But for some odd reason, he claims the woman who took the photo was named Judy Davis. It should be noted that John Eric Beckjord was kind of nuts. He claimed at different times that between 2 and 15 different Sasquatches are visible in the photo. According to him, multiple babies are clinging onto the adult Bigfoot. Beckjord had this tendency to claim to see Bigfoot in just about any random photo of the forest. In fact, during that expedition the two went on, he captured another photo he claimed had 9 squatches in it. In another expedition he went on the following year, he claimed he photographed multiple aliens. He even speculated that he was paralyzed in his tent in an attempt for the aliens to abduct him. Reading his website, you'd think he's trolling people to some degree, but he was apparently dedicated enough to have multiple serious arguments with people over his beliefs. Even over a decade after his death, I still occasionally get comments from people who remember Beckjord arguing with them and insulting people online. So why did Beckjord claim that the photo was taken by a Judy Davis instead of Marian Schubert? I have a few theories. One is that Beckjord got into some sort of fight with Marian Schubert and changed her name out of pettiness. Beckjord was accused of assaulting another woman during a different Bigfoot hunt, so it's not out of the question. Another idea I had was that Beckjord somehow forgot who took the photograph. I'm not sure how this could have happened, as he gave a lot of details about Marian/Judy and did meet her in person. Maybe he just forgot her name by the time he set the website up. My third theory is that maybe he just wanted to avoid Schubert trying to get his website taken down over some rights dispute. He does list the copyright of the photo under his name on the website, so unless he purchased it from her, he may be lying about that. In any case, it's not even the only detail he gets wrong. He claims her boyfriend was there when the photo was taken, when all other reports never mention that. He also claims the photo was taken at over twice the distance Schubert said it was. To be fair, he did spend more time with her than the reporters who initially broke the story. So maybe they got some stuff wrong, and he got it right after talking to her in more detail. Either way, Beckjord getting her name wrong is a clear sign that he's messing up the details of the story in a major way. So due to Beckjord mislabeling who actually took the photograph on his website, the Marian Schubert photo was lost for decades, despite it being spread around online quite a bit. I even personally posted about the photo for years before Zachary Mann figured out where it really came from. This is just another reason why preserving sources is so important when it comes to cryptozoology evidence. This wasn't the only Bigfoot photo Zachary Mann uncovered either. Another lost photo was taken by a teenage boy in Ontario back in 1977. According to the book Bigfootage, the teenager had noticed a large dark figure standing in some bushes near a large gorge. So he took out his camera and captured a couple of photos of the animal's head. Wayne King, who ran a Bigfoot research organization, ended up getting into contact with the family. Mr. King estimated the cryptid's height at over 7 feet or 2.3 meters tall based on the height of the plants it was standing in. He also saw the negatives of the photo and said that they were amazing in quality. Eyes, large nostrils, hair, and facial features were all supposedly visible. Unfortunately, we only have a copy of one of the photos. Zachary Mann found it in an issue of the 1977 Bay Times. According to the article, King sent the negatives to a laboratory to get a higher quality scan of the images. But if he actually did this, or where those negatives are currently, is unknown. Mike Quast mentioned before that King was pretty secretive with the evidence he collected. So it's probably in a random archive or attic somewhere. Adding some confusion to the whole story, Mann pointed out that various sources disagree as to if the teen took 1 or 2 photos of Bigfoot. A plaster cast of a Bigfoot print was also taken in the area, and this is also missing. What do you make of these photos? While I'm glad we have the photos finally, neither of them seem like great pieces of evidence. The old yellow top photo is kind of eerie, which I appreciate. The face almost looks like a jack-o'-lantern. But there just aren't very many primate-like details in the photo, certainly not enough to conclude that multiple squatches can be seen. It looks more like a trick of the light than a living animal. As for the second photo, the caption this newspaper ran sums it up nicely. If you have any more information on these photos or other pieces of lost cryptid evidence, please contact me. If you're interested in hearing more, check out my series on lost cryptid media. Also, keep an eye out for any future projects by Zachary Mann, as he was a massive help in making this video. Make sure you buy the book Bigfootage by Mike Quast as well, because it's really good. Link below. Thank you to my Patreons Gerhard, Timothy, Wildworld, Macindude, Ben, Jason Cook, and John R. If you'd like to support me on Patreon and get input into future videos, a link will also be below. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.